that's what they look like. So your needle go through here simply. And you can see how this is put together. Okay, so everything was connected by the needle. So needle is important. So when we take everything apart, we need some tools to clean it. This is cleaning brushes and things that it's my cleaning kit. And beside that, Q-tips are very useful. Now, if you don't have this, that's fine. You know, the Q-tip will do, and very important, your needle is becoming a cleaning tool. But you gotta be really careful and gentle with it. You don't want to bend your needle or damage the tip. Okay. So the fourth thing we need to clean is your nozzle and cap. Okay. So most of the time before I do this, I will soak them in rubbing alcohol for a period of time. Let's say we do this for overnight. Okay, we just soak everything in. Make sure you do them individually, or you have separate containers for your airbrush. In that case, you don't mix them up. Okay, so let's say I put them in, I give it a rinse, shake, so it's nice and wet inside there, and the rubbing alcohol go through. I have the first thing I need to clean is my nozzle. Now, even my cleaning brush is too small to go inside there, right? So the best cleaning tool with this one is actually my needle, or you could simply take a piece of paper towel and roll it like this. So it's more like a dentist doing root canal treatment. Okay, so you take your needle. I like to take my end of my needle, have a little bit rubbing alcohol, just give it a push. So in that case, I push some dry paint towards the end of the nozzle. Now in this case, you want to go to the sharp end now. Very carefully, not force it, slowly. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Keep pushing, and that way will push out all the dirty paints from your nozzle. Okay, so that's a very important part to clean your nozzle. Even though you clean them every time after you use it, after a while, there's just a little bit residue build up inside the nozzle layer, right? So you want to carefully push that open. Okay, now this is done. I'll take this little thing here, little paper towel I just made, and go inside, give a little twist. Alright, now you can see how much dirt paint I got on that. Okay. Paper towel, some more. You clean the end of it. Now if you noticed, on the back of this cap there's small tiny holes. That's where the air go through. So you want to go use that to go against the light and see if any of those holes are clogged. And then simply just use your needle, give a little poke, clean off a small tiny bent dry paint. It's really tedious, but just be patient, turn on your best music, and you will enjoy this part, hopefully. Now, I'll get the rest of the stuff out. The rest stuff are fairly easy to clean. The next you want to do is this piece here. Now, you don't have too much paint inside here. Actually, the paint will go from this way to here. So nothing on the back, unless you pull your needle back and forth very often, it's going to bring some dirty paint inside the trigger area. So that's where you're going to use the Q-tip. Dip some and clean inside here. Now, if you do have the cleaning kit, it will make it a bit easier to clean this part. I will just take this one, go through inside, make sure all the dirty pins are breaking up, and take my little brush, give it a little twist. But if you don't have the cleaning set, again, the needle is your best friend. And take that, use the end of it, not the pointy part, use the end of it, pull inside and give it a little bit tiny scrape. Okay? Push out some dirty pins, you can see a small tiny dot. This gun is pretty clean actually. Okay, but sometimes when you have more build-ups, you can push out a lot of dirty paint, which is very disgusting sometimes. Okay, there's a little air hole there, if you can see. Little air hole right here. Let's give it a poke. So this part is clean too. The rest of stuff are easy. No problem at all. That's just cosmetic cleaning to make them clean. Paper towels. Checking shaft. Clean that. The trigger. You want to clean the trigger because sometimes you do have the paints. Every time you pull the needle, like this, when inside the airbrush, when you pull the needle back, it's going to bring some dirty paints inside the trigger, this slot. So you're going to build up some build up there. So simple. Again, take some paper towels. And give a bit of cleaning. Okay. And that's it. A little rocker like that, just give it a little clean. So that's easy. Everything is clean. Now to come to the best part and most difficult part. For lots of people, this is the headache. How do you put them back together? Now there are some tricks and some orders which part you want to go first. So this is the part you need to pay attention and try to explain as good as possible. So the fourth thing you want to put it in is this little tiny piece there. Okay, and this little rocker. Now, see this part. I don't know if you can see that very well, but this curved part is to the end of it. To the end, stay like this. Okay, not the other way around, this way. So it's hard for you to put into that slot this way. So what you need to do is put this sideways first. As soon as you get that in, when you're still holding the top part, and give it a little turn. And twist and turn. Okay, so this part is tricky sometimes. Alright, so I got that into place. Maybe it's hard for you to see, but when you have a gun, you could test it and see, try to experience that. Now, once it's holding in place, what you want to do is hold it, not to move it. So you take your thumb, okay, and go against that. Just hold it like that. Hold in place so it won't move anywhere. So next thing you want to do is take this longer piece, okay, and put it in like that. Okay, so it's in place. Put this way so it won't drop. And your spring, put your spring on the top of it. Your checking case. Now, give a little bit turn. So twist it in, not all the way. Okay, just go like this. Just be able to attach to the body of the airbrush, and that's good enough. Next thing you want to do, still not lose your little rocker there. Just hold on to it. Now you're gonna turn this way and hold by your thumb this way. Okay, so you want to open up the slot. That's where you're gonna drop in the trigger. Okay. This is a little tricky part. The reason I don't want you to tighten it, if you tighten it, make this spring really tight, so it's really easy to push the rocker to the front. So in this case, make it be easier for you to put in the trigger. So hold down your trigger. This thing facing this way. Okay, the needle has to go through that. If you put this way, the needle it's not gonna go through. So you gotta make sure you drop that in. And once you put this one in, you could feel the up and down motion. Because the air valve actually has a little tiny spring inside, so you're gonna push it up and down, make sure that's okay, and you could release the rocker. Okay, that's a tricky part. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is take your needle, carefully put it back in, and make sure your trigger is in place. Now, once the needle is in, and you're good, you can let it go. Okay, so you're safe at this point. Now, the next thing you want to do is put your cap on. Okay, make sure the needle is sticking out. Now, do not tighten your needle at this point. you want to do that checking knot at last. You don't want it in the front, do that first, okay? If you do that, and sometimes when you put the cap back on, you're going to break the nozzle. So make sure you do the checking knot at last. And you want to do this next thing is put this crown cap on the top. So we'll protect your needle. Now, let's worry about the end. I'm going to push the checking case in, tighten it, so we'll lock the trigger and give a nice tension on the trigger. And the last thing I want to do right here is putting on my checking nut. Now, this is very important. If you don't tighten the checking nut, your needle will not move back. Therefore, you only get air come out, you don't get any pins come out. That's a common made mistake a lot of people forget to do. And they always tell me the airbrush is cleaned very well. How come there's some air, there's no paint come out? That's because this little thing there, okay? Simple make small mistake. Now, just close your handle. Ta-da! Your gun is done. Nice and clean. At this stage, you could put it away. You could store that for 2 years, 3 years if you don't want to use it. This is nice and clean as new. So if you look after your airbrush, it will be a long-term thing for you to use. Okay? Hope this helped. Thank you.